Cheerful greetings, and today we're going to make a card that's really not a card. Have you ever had the time when you wanted to send a card but that really wasn't enough, and yet you didn't want to send a gift that was too much? So let's make a card that really isn't a card. It is a super card. So the one I have here will fit into a 5.5, 4 1/4 envelope, and I'm going to be working with 2 additional ones, and we'll be putting them together, and I'll give you a few measurements and show you how it's done, and I'll give you some options in which you have on them. The card that I have here is this one, and if you will notice, the ribbon is held together with a wax seal, so when you untie it, you do not lose the ribbon. It's stuck on there. Now, we will look and see what else is on it in a minute. To make the card, you can make it out of a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. It's basically 4 inches wide. I didn't go with 4 1/4 because of the thickness. I wanted to make sure it would go in my envelope. So it's basically 4 inches wide. So in a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, you could make 3. Now I have 3 ones here that I'm going to show, and you will see some of the papers repeat. That's because I'm trying to use those papers up. But I think they pretty much all go together. So when we open the card up, we will find that it's 12 by 4. So that gives me the chance to make 3, with each one being 4 inches wide. Now, where do I fold it? Well, I want it to fit into my envelope, so I usually fold the first one approximately at 5 inches. And here's, or 5 1/4. Here's where you have a little play. It doesn't have to be exact. If it's 5 inches or 5 1/4, it's still gonna fit in the envelope. So that piece is folded. You use your scoring board like I've got here, and I have already scored it at the 5-inch mark. Then for the top flap, I fold what's left. In one of these, it's narrow, and the other one is wider. Let's see which one is which here. This one is wider. So you see that the fold is a little different, but it's still, this fold in here is 5 inches. This one right in here is 5 inches. So they end up being the same. The size of your flap will be determined by how close you do 5, 5 1/4, or 5 1/2. I hope that's clear. It's kind of confusing, but yet you don't have to worry about folding it exactly. Okay, let's see what we have. When we open this one up, I have a pocket down here, and I have a belly band up here. Now on this one, I have a triangular pocket where you can put something like this in. And this particular card is too long, so I just happen to have that on my desk. Now this one, when we open it up, we have a pocket here. Now this particular one was made for someone who just got the notice that they were cancer-free, and these little verses and all are to remind him that we're not alone when we go through trial and tribulations. And so I've got some Bible verses on here that I put in my pockets for them to take out and read. And then I've got some other things like be kind, and I have a little tag here that has a verse on the back, and I'll put something on the front. I'm not sure what. So you see there's loads of possibilities. All right, well, let's go back to the one we need to work on. This one has the triangle pocket. And on the outside, I've put 3 pockets. Now, the bottom of this one is not glued. And the bottom of this one is not glued. You'll see that there are three different pieces here. 2 green in the printed, multicolor printed. So this green one is glued, the top green one at the bottom. This one is not, and this one is not. And I'll explain why. Because I want, let's see if this will go in. I want my card. I want, if I have some tags to go in, I want them to be able to go past the first pocket. Otherwise, see, this one goes way past the first pocket. It's down into the 3rd pocket. Or I could put it in the 2nd pocket. See, I don't have it glued, so it'll go down further. And then, of course, it'll only go down a short ways on the top pocket. So I did not glue the pocket in here. I did not glue the pocket down here on this one. But the whole outside on each side is glued, and the bottom is glued. So we'll just stick this in here for right now. I'm just got some miscellaneous pieces on my desk. Okay, let's get rid of the scoring board, because I've explained it, that you try to use the scoring board to score the 2 sides. You want to score the 2 lines. Okay, now I need something to go here. I was looking at this. I'm trying to make each one a little different. Now, I'm going to put a pocket on the outside of this one. Let's see. Trying to do each one different. This one has the pocket going on the front. I should put it here. Now, how do I make my little hole, thumb hole? I take my punch and I go halfway or less. You can do either one, halfway or less, depending how deep a hole you want. And you punch a piece out. I've got a very small hole there. So you want to distress anything ahead of time. This piece is already distressed. Before you actually glue it on, try to distress your pieces, because you can't really do a good job of it after you have glued it to the base. So we'll just kind of do the hole that I just made. Now let's see how we're going to glue this. I've got some Eileen Turbo glue in my little bottle. I'm doing down the sides, doing in the bottom. This really does, I'm not worried about the size of this, as long as it fits on here. So again, this card has loads of options, because you don't have to worry about the size. As long as it fits, it could be much smaller. To explain what I mean, let's take this piece. Now there's one thing I meant to do that I haven't done, so I'm gonna pick it up real quick, and I'll find my corner punch. Let's see, glue anything. I mean, if you want to make a curved corner, do it before you put the glue on. But we all make mistakes. Redo it. We'll put a little more in the corner. the check makes it easy to put on. Got a little dab of glue showing. Now, you have my butterflies, and the butterflies go up and down, so it doesn't matter if it goes this way or this way. After you punch the corners, kind of go in and distress. Cut out a thumb hole. Okay. So it works really well if you have papers that kind of go together, that you do 2 or 3 at one time. Doesn't take quite as long. Okay, while I'm at this point here, I'm going to kind of decorate my pocket. I have these stickers, and on this one, on this side, it has a single butterfly. So we'll put a whole butterfly on this side. You can decorate these as much as you want to. Just kind of keep in mind, if you're going to mail it, you want to keep your additional pieces fairly flat. There we go. Makes it kind of interesting. Now, let's see what we have on this side. We have a double pocket. On this one, we have a triple pocket. On this one, we have a belly band. Let's look at the belly band next. We'll turn that around. This one, I put the belly band here. This one does not have a belly band yet. So let's see what's in the belly band. Well, we have a little book. It's just a piece of cardstock with some paper in it that has been touched a little bit with some walnut stain. I've just kind of smeared a little over it so it won't have that shiny, bright glare. Kind of makes it, and then I have pretty much distressed this. And so we have a book in this one. Now, let's say that we want a book in this one being held by the belly band. A belly band, that's nothing but a piece of cardstock with some glue here and some glue here. Now, I have taken a piece of cardstock. I'm not sure the exact measurement. I think it's about 4 by 6, I believe it is. But it doesn't matter as long as it'll fit inside your belly band. Now, I've got a string, and my page is already done. I've tied it all. Next thing I'm going to do is just kind of clip these ends. And this is elastic. Now, you wonder where I got that? People give me their used cards to get stuff off of them. And I have a whole lot of this elastic-sized string that I've saved to use in things like this. Now, I could decorate this. I'm not sure that I want to at the moment. I'm not sure what I'd put on it. But anyway, now let me show you how I did this. I put the pieces of paper together. And then, they don't have to be exact. Don't forget, this is a handmade item. So let's just kind of darken the paper a little bit. I haven't done that. So if it's not in there perfectly, then it's okay. If they want something perfect, they'd go to the store and get something that was machine made. So we'll just, the only thing I'm doing is just kind of smearing a little distress ink over it. And I'll probably, when I have time, go back through and do all the edges like this. But that gives you the idea. Now, if you have a string that's fairly large and you have a needle here and you don't think you can get your string through the needle, this is what you do. Get you a piece of floral tape like this, fold it in half, put it through the needle first. There we go. Through the needle. Put your string through. Put the string through the floral tape, and that's what you end up with. So you pull it down a little bit, and then you pull your needle thread through, and sometimes this is kind of hard to do. But you get it through like that. Pull one side out. Now you have your needle threaded. What I did then was punch holes on the outside with my paper inside holding it. And then I threaded. I went from the inside to the outside, from the outside to the inside, and tied the inside. And that's how I made my book. And as I say, it's a little crude, but it works. Now, this is my little book, and it's going to go inside this one. Okay. So I'm going to turn it this way. So that one fits that way. This one goes in this way. This is on the inside. This one's on the outside. You see the difference? Let me turn it over. Okay. We have a pocket here. On this one, I made 2 pockets. We've got some verses there. On here, I'm not sure what I'm gonna put in it. I'm gonna find me some little cards, and I'm just putting this in here as an example. Find me some cards and put it in like that. Like that. So here's my outside that's complete. My inside's pretty much complete. I need to look around and see what all I can find that would work. And I had this, and I was thinking about using it. Since I'm sending it to someone, I thought the thinking of you was pretty neat. So I'm gonna put it on this one because I like the yellow and the yellow. And why the little strip? I got this off of a card too. So you can recycle, and it doesn't hurt to recycle. It's okay. So let's just glue this on and then I'll have it done. Let me get I'm gonna probably distress it just a little bit because where I cut it out is probably a little ragged. When you get old, you can't see. This has a little piece there. Okay. Now, what I plan to do, since this particular one has a purpose, I'm going to be putting my verses in this one up here. And I'll put my note on this one in here. So let's get me a little dab of glue. Now let's see where I want to cut this. Okay. Get rid of this. Get rid of this piece. Now, this is not a very fancy embellishment, but look what happens after I put it on. There we go. It personalizes it. Personalizes my card. As I said, most people can't take time to make a card this, I don't want to say fancy, this time consuming is the word I want to use. But if it's somebody special, you can. And I showed you, I think, the little book that I put a flower on. And this one's all finished. It's ready for me to tie. Okay, that book is complete. That card is complete. Let's look at this one. Okay, what I have done here is, since this has the print, I made a belly band out of the print. And this belly band can be used to put some cards through rather than a book. That should be big enough to hold a card. And it doesn't necessarily have to be these cards. The idea is get your basic card put together. Then you can go through and find what pieces you want to put in as accessories, things for them to look through. So while we're at it, I'm going to take my distressing tool here. I don't know if I said or not, I can't remember, but this is walnut stain. I go to walnut stain all the time for some reason. I think everybody likes walnut stain. And so and on the belly bands, I don't round the corners. Now this one is different in the fact that it does not have a little book. However, if I'm in the mood, I can go back anytime I want to and make a little book to go inside it and send it off. Okay, I believe that's glued now. We'll just slide this through. And this is so, once this is glued good down permanently, I should be able to put a couple more pieces in there. And then I'm gonna leave this open, I'm gonna leave this open. As I said, sometime if I wanna put a book in here, I can put another belly band, or I could put, let's say I'm trying to show you the different possibilities, or I could put one of my little books right here. That works. This is the one I'm sending out. These are the ones that are 99 and 9/10 done. I just need to find some more cards, embellishments, or even make some more. This one, let's see, I got my butterfly on the front. I have a big butterfly on this side. 3 ideas, 3 super cards. Cards that really aren't cards. Cards that are more than a greeting card. And I hope you enjoyed seeing them. They're easy to make. And you'll notice, as I said, they're a little different in size, only by the first fold. You determine exactly what the size is going to be. But remember, you want to try to put it in a regular size envelope, 5.5 by 4 1/4. So adjust accordingly. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please come back and see me and see what else I have in store for you. I've got something really different next time. In the meantime, have a great crafting day. Don't forget, please subscribe.